It was just a few days ago I was breaking down the big news, IOG releasing the privacy-preserving data sidechain Midnight. And now here we are again in the middle of a bear market. New breaking news. First stablecoin on Cardano has launched, IUSD. If there's any time to build and to release things like this, it's in a bear market. These are the foundational, fundamental building blocks to everything that we want in the next bull market, everything we want in the decades to come, the growth of this blockchain. These are the building blocks. Indigo, synthetic assets on Cardano, synthetic assets and IUSD are live on Cardano with Indigo Protocol version 1. This is big news today for Cardano. I want to break this down through a tweet by Subcritical. Go follow him on Twitter. Just really good Cardano content. Cardano has a new stablecoin. Before you ape into IUSD, you need to know some things. It's actually very simple. Synthetic assets sound complicated, but very simple. IUSD is a synthetic asset. Synthetic assets track the price of real and digital assets. It's not backed by fiat. It is over collateralized with ADA. How does IUSD maintain a peg? That's the big question. Just in any stablecoin conversation, how is the peg maintained? Arbitrageurs stabilize prices. Protocol rules ensure that IUSD and other I assets are always fully collateralized with ADA. So they're collateralized with ADA. When IUSD is undersupplied, it creates opportunities for arbitrageurs to generate a return by minting and selling at the market price. If IUSD trades below its peg, it creates an opportunity for users to buy at a discount to then stake at full face value in the stability pool. For more info, take a look at this Medium article, and I'll put a link in the description as well. On top of that, I want to mention something. We have more to come. There's more in play. There's more to come. Emergo will launch Cardano's first regulated stablecoin, USDA, in Q1 of 2023. Emergo, the official commercial arm and founding entity of Cardano project, has announced the launch of the first fully fiat-backed regulatory compliant stablecoin USDA for the Cardano ecosystem. This stuff wasn't happening the last bear market for Cardano ADA. Cardano ADA was just getting ready to launch Shelly, to go into the Shelly phase, which was the staking mechanism that we all know and we are all used to and we are all using. It is the number one staking mechanism in all of crypto. Now in this bear market, in this cycle, these things are starting to happen and starting to take place. And Cardano, amidst everything else going on in the crypto space right now, is truly setting itself apart. So for these things to be happening, it's going to pave the way for things like TVL, total value locked, and DeFi to grow, to explode when all of the new capital starts coming back into crypto, because it's going to happen. There's no way to know exactly when, but when it starts happening, these are the building blocks. Cardano, to get a fully regulated USD-backed stablecoin, Emergo announced that it has formed a partnership with a US-based regulated financial services company to develop the first fully fiat-backed regulatory compliant stablecoin in the Cardano ecosystem. That's a mouthful. USDA, the stablecoin developed by Emergo, will be backed by the US dollar, combining Cardano's low-cost, fast, and resource-efficient infrastructure with the stability of the USD. So it's just big news. The introduction of the USDA stablecoin has been predicted to help bolster Cardano's DeFi ecosystem. And pay attention to this, because when we start looking at Cardano comparative to the rest of crypto, it becomes relevant. It will do so by making it more sustainable, robust, and flexible. Many of you know, if you remember Solana, that pump in TVL that we saw in November 2021, around 10 billion in TVL, completely fabricated. In hindsight, the crypto space now knows it was fake. It was made up. It wasn't real. Now, Cardano TVL on the flip side, we were tracking this. It was hitting like 300 million. I think I remember tracking this, and we're just like, man, we're on our way. We're seeing growth in Cardano DeFi, and we're talking about March 2022, right? It was earlier in this year. It's just early stage for DeFi and Cardano, but still, it was nice to see breaking 300 million. Well, the billions and billions in TVL, I think, are on their way to Cardano, and it's real. It's not fake. And it will be built and it will come upon the true, sound, decentralized, secure blockchain that is Cardano. And we're seeing it. All of these news pieces coming out about Cardano today, just one of those things. It's just one of the many things we continue to cover as Cardano goes through its phases of growth. Right now, just kind of getting ready to enter the Voltaire stage, right? We've already gone through Basho and scalability, and it's being worked on right now. And all of these things is coming together with this slower moving protocol, this research-backed protocol. So really exciting to see this because we've been tracking Cardano for years. We've been really tracking it through all of these things. Most recently, the Vassal hard fork, as we just mentioned. And we've been doing it most recently in a bear market. Cardano falling, Cardano ADA falling, along with the rest of crypto, along with the rest of financial markets, traditional markets. S&P 500 in its own bear market. We see this chart, lower highs all the way through. You start looking at different stocks, they are down just as much as Cardano, some of them. So Cardano's here, and we break down the news of the day. We see this first stablecoin launched in the middle of this bear market. What I would say, and I've been covering in my other crypto videos, Bitcoin videos, we use Bitcoin as a roadmap to the bear market, the bull market, the cycles of crypto. We're in that last phase, and this will likely last months, and it'll be very volatile. There could be more lows. But right now, Cardano releasing this news, setting Cardano up to, I think, be one of the strongest players in crypto. It is, in my view, going to be the most competitive crypto in the upcoming next cycle, meaning all eyes will be on Cardano as we do see a DeFi boom, as we do see explosive growth, and as we do see Cardano finally, because the infrastructure is so much more well built now than last bear market, we do see Cardano proving itself to much of the market. We're already starting to see a shift in terms of sentiment. I'm seeing big name influencers and content creators out there. They're getting it. They're catching on to it. And when that happens, prior to the next bull market, meaning in this bear market, Cardano setting itself up as, I think, one of the best opportunities. What's funny is I sit here with enthusiasm. I'm talking to you. I'm doing a video. I'm a content creator. I want to be enthusiastic. But I realize as I was just talking, it just sounds like I'm trying to sell something. I'm not. I'm not trying to sell something. I'm tracking my crypto journey, and Cardano is a huge part of it, and I'm excited. I'm just like any of you out there that are crypto holders and just building, right? We run Cardano stake pools. I feel like there's such great opportunity to build on Cardano. It excites me. And so for me as a value investor, I need to be enthusiastic about what I see for the future. And that's why I cover Cardano as much as I do. And it's why I talk about it in the way that I do. I don't love Cardano. Cardano is a blockchain. It's a technology. And I don't love it, but I'm excited about it, right? It's ADA is money. I don't love it, but I'm excited about it as an investment vehicle. And that's why I'm covering it. So here's ADA on the weekly, and you can just see, I think this is probably the best thing for me as I watch these charts, and this is how I see things. This is not financial advice. This trend line finally being broken, not to mention just the entire bear market happening, but this yellow trend line that we were tracking going back to 2018, we tracked that as Cardano was bouncing off of it and hovering and consolidating along that area. I almost didn't want it to just bounce off of that area because it seems like it has to break that, right? It has to capitulate into the bear market low and wherever that's going to take us. And it's almost like the bear market was rough. It's kind of like the hard part is over, but I really think this was like the Band-Aid being ripped off, and we might have more downside. I think most people in the market today have experienced and already accepted there's potentially more downside. I think so much. We did a video earlier today, Bitcoin addresses, majority of them in the red. And that's indicative of bear market bottoms for crypto. That happening. It's happening now. And so I think most people have accepted the fact that there's potentially more downside. We know the macroeconomic landscape of just the world right now is not looking too good, and there's more downside potentially in play for traditional markets. We've been tracking the S&P 500 chart here. We've been tracking the US dollar currency index kind of right now in this hourly chart making some consolidation. But if you go over here to a daily chart, you can see it's been going up a lot. And when that happens, risk on assets like ADA, they're falling. So we've been tracking that, and it's going to take some time for things to level off. But ADA as a value investor is something that really excites me. If we go over here to the daily chart, is what I want to do is I want to break down the short-term charts right now, November 21st, because, you know, we're all watching it. I know I'm always watching the charts, even when I'm just kind of like, even in the short term, it doesn't really matter to me what happens next exactly. I'm always pulling up the charts all day long. So I want to break down what's happening right now. Many of you know, if you've been watching my YouTube channel, we broke through the bottom of this trend line. We got the pullback to the trend line, which is just picture perfect. We've talked about these moves for years on this YouTube channel, and then we got the resistance there and we fell. We continued to the downside. Now, what I really want to point out here, and I think this is just such a good learning experience for all of us, and a reminder, if we take out our date range, this pattern that we've been watching, you go back here to May, and then you go to when it finally broke through the bottom, we're looking at 150 days. 150 days of consolidation, of tracking this setup and this structure before finally the move. And then the move, almost to the target now at this point, the move itself, only just over 40 days. So this is a perfect illustration of how much patience is necessary in this crypto game. You might be on this video. This might be your first bear market. This might be like your first month in crypto, and you're just kind of gravitated towards ADA, and that's why you're on this video. But what we just saw on the screen, 150-day setup for a 40-day move to its target, almost close to its target, is the perfect illustration of the patience that we need to have in this game, because this was volatile, and it's going to continue being this way. Meaning we got the swing low to a swing high here. It's a 70% move right there. Everybody getting hype. That 70% move to the upside turned into a 40% crash to the downside. And it repeats itself as it consolidates into the structure. And then we fall below. And now there's all this talk about how low are we going to go? Is Cardano going to hold at 30 cents? What's going to happen? There's all this speculation. There's all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And all the while, all we need is a plan and patience. Those are the ingredients, everybody. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. I don't sit here because I know what's going to happen next. I sit here because I want to just chill out with a level head, have a plan, and that's why I use the charts to do that. This is the roadmap. That's why we use these charts. We speculate, of course, but we have targets to the upside and downside at any given time so we can visualize these scenarios before they happen. And by doing that, in the current state of where we are in our investments and in what we're doing, I feel like I'm able to make just a sound, confident, comfortable decision. That's why we do what we do, everybody. And it's just crazy to see these patterns, they continue to play out. So in terms of where ADA is right now, almost to the target, just below 30 cents, what I would say for the short term, and let me change this to an ADA chart. This is a 6 hour. On the short term, if we're looking at a 6 hour chart, I want to point something out to you. If you look at the RSI of the 6 hour, we see this higher low kind of setup, right? On the 6 hour, kind of just getting a swing low back here in October. And then we have, and I should move this trend line down. We have a higher low right here in November, kind of towards the beginning of November. So we have these higher lows on Cardano. All the while, if you look at the Cardano chart, what's happening? Cardano is kind of seeing just these lower lows. So there's this potential for an explosive move to the upside in the short term. That's what that says. But to the short term, if that happens, if we go to daily chart, here's what I'd be watching for. That explosive move could be nothing more than a move to, say, the 20-day moving average here in green. That is sitting right around 35 cents. The 50-day moving average in blue around 37 cents. Doesn't sound like a lot, but price-wise, if it's going to make the move, that's around a 14 to 22% move. That could be a small little rally, gets people's hopes up, and we have to track that resistance if that happens. I want to throw that out there. Now, to the downside, if we're looking at the daily, the 6 hour, whatever we want to look at, there's still that downside move below 30 cents to hit the true target out of, and there's the triangle, symmetrical triangle on Cardano right here. there's still just that target that needs to be hit. So just maybe there's a little bit of consolidation sideways right now, and then boom, it falls to below 30 cents. We're getting that move, and then maybe a true rally happens after that. But you know what, everybody? We have to keep our eye on traditional markets. I keep going back to S&P 500 chart. I don't care if you care about it or not. It is important what happens here. It is important what happens with the Fed minutes that are released on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday at 2 p.m. These things are important when we're looking at ADA charts, especially in the short term, because whatever happens over there is going to translate onto this chart. So be very careful out there. This is what I'm doing. This is how I see things. It's not financial advice, but I will say this, everybody. The stablecoins, the stablecoin that just launched on Cardano, the stablecoin getting ready to launch through Emergo, these things are so bullish in the long term. And if you go back to that weekly chart, this is the chart that has so much clarity. We could fall more. Of course, we could fall more. But in my view, at the end of this bear market, wherever it goes, whether it's right here as the bottom or whether it's, I don't care if it's 10 cents, wherever it goes, it's going to be a higher low for Cardano on the macro, and it's setting up for that next bull phase. And we have really, really high valuations as speculative investors, I think, in play. I'm talking about 500 billion valuation for Cardano. That's around $15. I'm not saying like next year or something. I'm just saying in the longer term, $1 trillion market cap, I think, is possible for Cardano with the growth of the ecosystem that we're getting ready to see. With the trillions, the tens of trillions of dollars getting ready to come into crypto, I think these things are possible. So it's just, it's a macro view, it's a zoomed in view, and it's really taking all things into perspective, being very careful out there. But those are my thoughts today, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. I want to mention something, actually. I'm going to go to Twitter real quick. I just thought of this, and I want to show this to you. If you're not on Twitter, this is huge news for CCV delegators. This was the other day, thanks to all 23,187 of our Cardano stake pool delegators. CCV was able to sponsor this huge fundraiser event for Place of Hope. You see the video there. CCV on the big screen, hanging out. This directly supports children and families that have been victims of abuse, trafficking, and neglect. Thank you. We've been developing an awesome relationship with Place of Hope, and everybody, I'm telling you, if you're delegating, you really are part of this. You really, really are a part of this. I told my buddy the other day who really talked me into setting up stake pools. He's a part of it. We're all part of it. I praise God for what he's allowed us to do, and God willing, we can continue doing this, but this stuff is fun. We're helping people. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you as we continue to grow through this bear market. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. What do you think about this big news, Indigo? Good job, team. As Cardano continues to grow as a blockchain, let me know your thoughts below. Hit the like if you like that news. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.